So we are doing this chapter, human development, and yesterday we of development. Today we will start human development. Exactly the topic of human development will be starting. Just wait for a while. So there is a interrelated aspect of development. I think the screen is visible to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So when we are talking about the development and its brighter as well as its darker side, we have to also look about the interrelated aspect of development. The development which we are talking about, it is leading to environmental pollution and ultimately the ecological crisis. We will be moving to this topic, human development index, but I am starting with its base. So when we are talking about the development, the huge buildings, the computerization, the industrialization and everything, so what is happening actually? It is leading to ecological crisis. It starts with environmental pollution and it leads to ecological crisis. Air, soil, water, noise pollution, they all are common. They all are not only common environmental problems, but seriously somewhere they have threatened our existence. Our existence is threatened by all such kinds of pollutions, because I already told you that the major sufferers are the poor people, the slum dwellers, the people of backward classes, scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, and female population. They are the major sufferers. So consequently, these sufferers or the poor persons, they are being subjected to three types of declining capabilities, or we can say that their three kinds of capabilities are declining due to this. Let me revise you quickly for you. We are saying that development is having two sides, a brighter side and a darker side. So brighter side, when we are viewing it, when we are visualizing it, it's very good. But when we are looking for its after effects, they are dangerous. And everybody are not the sufferers. It is a section of the society that is actually suffering. That may be poor people, that may be female population, that may be slum dwellers and people of backward caste. So when this is happening, there are three kinds of capabilities which are declining. And it is a very important question from 3 marks point of view. The question can come to you that what are the three interrelated processes of declining capabilities? Yeah, what are the three possible reasons for the declining capabilities of the poor people? So first of all, social capabilities. Social capability is declining when the development is taking place somewhere in some part of, suppose any part of the village, suppose any multi-purpose project is coming in any village. So the people are displaced from there, so their social bonding, their social relationship, it is being affected. Because you know, the people who are living in villages, the small town people, they are more comfortable in their space. Am I audible to everybody?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the people who are living in villages or small towns or suburbs, they are comfortable in their own space. They want to live over there. They want to enjoy life accordingly. And we all know that their social life is much more, we can say, it is interrelated. The people are interrelated with each other. So the basic thing is that the capability, social capability, is affected due to displacement and weakening social ties. The social capital, it is weakened, and they are being displaced from one place to another place. Second one is the environmental capabilities. When the pollution is occurring, when the pollution is causing, the environmental capability is declining. The environment is suffering, and due to environment we are suffering. We are the major sufferers. Third one is the personal capabilities. Personal capability is declining. That it may happen that due to the development, the increasing incidences of diseases and increasing accidents, that is also having an adverse effect on the quality and quality of life, and it is ultimately disturbing the human development. So what I mean to say, three types of capabilities are declining due to such development. First is the social capabilities, their social bonding is affected. Second one is the environmental capabilities, environmental pollution is causing, and ultimately it is leading to social ecological crisis. And third one is their personal capabilities that are declining. Maybe they are prone to more diseases and accidents. I think till here the topic is clear to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay. Okay, so let me ask you a few questions. Who are the major sufferers when we are talking about the brighter side of development? Whom do you think are the major sufferers? Is everybody suffering due to development, or there is some section of the society that is suffering due to the development?
Ma'am, everyone is suffering. Most of them, majority are suffering from poor and who are illiterate.
Illiterate. And
Yes, ma'am.
who else are suffering apart from illiterate?
Ma'am, poor
They,
poverty peoples who are very below poverty line.
okay.
And
Who else?
ma'am, people who are unemployed, even though they have education which is required to get employed. But due to
Yes.
unemployment and lack of setups and businesses, they are unemployed and not able to
Yes.
do work.
Yes. First of all, the illiterate people, then unemployed people. Yes, Khyati, you were also saying something. Anybody else? Yes, Khyati. Yeah, your voice is not audible.
yes, ma'am, there's something network issue.
Now I am able to hear you. Yes, please say what you want to say.
Rural area people.
Rural area people. Yes, the people who are living in rural areas. One more section is their female population. They are the major sufferers, because in countries, in developing countries like India, a kind of social injustice is there. Means some of the men and women, they both are not equal. Yes, the things are going on, the things are coming on the track, that somewhere and somehow the lacuna is being cured. But still, when we are talking about the developing countries, all the poor section of the society, the female population, as well as the people who are unemployed, okay, who are searching for certain employed, and the people of poor section of the society, and the people of backward classes, they all are suffering. Now let us talk about another topic, that is human development. Now when we are talking about this development, when we are talking about this when we are talking about this declining capabilities, so present development which we are talking about, it is not able to address the issues of social injustice, regional imbalances, and environmental degradation. All these issues cannot be solved. Which issues? Social injustice, regional imbalances, and environmental degradation. They cannot be solved through this definition of development that which we are talking about. In book 1, Human Geography, when we are talking about the topic human development, we are clearly saying that human development is achieving the pleasure out of life. Yahi tha na? Meaningful life, deriving meaningful life. When we are living a meaningful life, that is the true definition of human development. And the prime cause of social injustice, deterioration in the quality of life, human development, ecological crisis, and social unrest, they are being considered as the prime cause. They are the prime cause which are hindering the human development actually. So it was thought to take up human development as a separate issues, and that human development must not coincide with the Western views of development. This is the Western view of development. What is the Western view of development? That industrialization must be there, efficient means of communication must be there, then better infrastructure, efficient transport and communication, all these things must be there. So a new concept of human development, it has been included, it has been considered, and it is not coinciding with the Western views of development. It considers development as the remedy of all ills, including human development. And it is also curbing the regional disparities as well as the environmental pollution. It is curbing all these things. Okay. So let us talk about UNDP. I think the image is on your screens.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
What is the full form of UNDP? Can anybody
United
tell me?
Nations Development
United Nations
Program.
Development Program.
Yes, United Nations development programs. So we are saying that the development and human development, they are two separate things, and development must be able to tackle the environmental crisis, regional disparities. So the first human development report was published by UNDP, United Nations Development Program, in 1990. It is a very important question. Ki when was the first human development report published? The first human development report was published in year 1990. And this report does not only define human development, it also makes amendments and change its indicators, and also ranks all the countries of the world based on calculated scores. Means what are the functions of UNDP? First of all, it is defining human development in the whatever its definition, whatever its limits are there, they have been set up. The limits must be able to cope up with the regional disparities as well as environmental or ecological crisis, and it must lead to a meaningful life for the people. These are the limitations, or we can say these are the minimum indicators that are set up by the UNDP. UNDP is also putting all the countries in order of their calculated scores. According to 1993 report, Human Development 1993 report, progressive democratization and increasing human development means, if we are talking about any country, there should be minimum democratization. Democratization means implementation of democracy. We all know democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And if the country is having democracy, of course the people are enjoying their rights. Okay, there is a kind of sense of equality prevailing over there. So progressive democratization, the democracy must be progressive. It should always and always progress. And increasing empowerment, there should be choice. The people must be empowered to make choices. They must know what is wrong and right for them. When such things are happening in any country, we are saying the human development is taking place there. Means development must be woven around the people. People must not be moving around the development. If we are the people of any country, we are the citizens of any country, development must be around us. Okay, it's not like that we are running after the development. Means the Western development has to be cancelled out when we are talking about human development. Human development means that the people are empowered to take the decisions, they are leading a meaningful life, and obviously progressive democratization is there in the country. So there are some indicators of human development also, and 3 indicators have been set up by UNDP. Can anybody tell me what are those indicators? Can you tell me? Am I audible to you? Class, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
The 3 indicators are life expectancy, per capita income, and education. These are the 3 important indicators of human development. And it is a very important question. These indicators have been set up by UNDP. These indicators are life expectancy, per capita income, and education. These are the 3 indicators which are set up by UNDP, and they are already, we have studied them in the fundamentals of human geography. Now, as you will be observing that the chapters in both the books are approximately the same, but the basic difference is that there we are learning about the world. In context of world we are studying, here in context of India we are studying. So when we are studying the chapters, it's our duty to compare both the chapters from that book and this book. When you are going to make a comparative analysis, then remembering the things will be easier for you. And as I am telling you each and every day that 33% of the syllabus will be coming as objective type questions. So please prepare your topic properly. When you are learning about human development, suppose here human development index is given to you, and we have also studied human development in that book, but as this book is not having those indicators. So when you are reading the chapter and when you are searching out that the human indicators which you read in that book, so immediately just consult the book and look for the indicators. So what will happen? Your concepts will be cleared at the same time. So whenever you are studying, it's an advice that you need to do a comparative analysis of both the chapters. Now let us talk about the human development in India. So what are the 3 indicators according to UNDP?
Ma'am, life expectancy, education,
Life
and per capita income.
capita.
Yes, life expectancy, per capita income, and one more was there,
Education.
education. Yes, these are the 3 important indicators of life. So what are the minimum requirements, or what are the parameters that are set up by the UNDP when we are talking about the human development in any country? What are the minimum parameters? What minimum things must be there?
Minimum standard of living.
Okay. There are 2 things that have been set up as minimum requirements, minimum conditions. One is the progressive democratization, and second one was the increasing
Increasing
empowerment.
empowerment.
Yes. So what is progressive democratization? I told you earlier. What is that? Progressive democratization means that the country's democracy is progressing slowly and gradually. And increasing empowerment means the people are having the choices. They are free to make choices. They can judge between right and wrong. And that's how they're empowered for making the development. If these 2 minimum things are not there, we cannot say the country is having any kind of human development. And which are the 2 economists that were actually concerned about that human development? Who were the 2 minimum economists?
Ma'am, Dr. Mabul Ul Haq and Amartya Sen.
Amartya Sen. Okay. Okay, so now please note down your homework, everybody. You have to read the chapter till here, till this topic, whatever topic we have completed. And secondly, make out objective type questions out of the chapter. Till the portion we have done. Make OTQs. Understood, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Any problem
Yes,
is
ma'am.
there? You want to discuss something? No? So you can leave the class one by one. Bye-bye, all of you. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, welcome, bachcho.